Okay, now our video is recording. Here we go. It starts in 3, 2, 1. I had to let it get to that part. Hey everybody, welcome to Core. This is Core. We're here to talk about video games, and that right there is a new thing we're playing at the top of the show because Bo made it and it's rad. And he was just going to throw this away or ignore it forever and never finish it, but now we're using it. Bo, how do you feel about having your worker resurrected?
In a file folder. Nervous.
Nervous?
We'll see.
You shouldn't.
It'll take me a couple days to feel better.
It's so rocking, man. I love it. And that's you on every instrument that is in that, right? That's you on all.
Yeah,
all
I played
stuff.
the bass guitar and guitar tracks.
Yeah.
I programmed the drums from samples, but sampling software is pretty good in 2020.
Oh yeah, no, it sounds like a whole band made it. I love it.
Well, what's interesting about it is, you know, when you program drums like electronic music, you can hear that it's exactly repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
But there are ways to. A human doing it isn't perfect. They'll never have mathematical robotic timing. So there's little micro imperfections that the human ear picks up and you notice, but you don't notice. If that makes
we
sense.
notice it, and it gives us this, it's like the uncanny valley thing with faces in CGI when it's done
Right.
It can
when
look
a computer
amazing.
does drum tracks, it
Right.
does it mathematically, so it just you can tell.
Right.
But now you can actually program in very micro randomness to make that stuff sound like it's being played live. Like you can put in mistakes even if you wanted to and stuff. Algorithmically, like you don't have to do it yourself.
Right. It
There's just
does
like automated things you can do, and it's super cool.
So is this happening now? Let's see.
Yeah.
Dude, listen to you go, man.
So those drum tracks are all live sampled. They're
Yeah.
real sounds of drums, but
Yeah.
they're programmed on
Right.
a track.
Right. Well, you had me fooled. It sounds amazing. So we're going to use that for the foreseeable future, unless Bo comes out with a rad new track, and then boom, there we go. Maybe this old stuff here, maybe that gets used for a certain thing we're going to do later in today's show. Maybe that's what happens. I don't know.
Oh, we're doing something special today.
Maybe.
Do our listeners have to wait and find out?
They do. At least after we've talked about a few things like this. Right after we talked last week, it was announced that Cyberpunk 2077 was getting delayed until September. They are not planning. Well, the one thing they didn't say is that this thing is going to be on next-gen consoles, which will be coming out very shortly after its release, which is kind of a bummer. But I wouldn't be that surprised to see if it happened. Maybe even on time. I could. That may be pushing the limits of what's actually possible. But given the
I kind of think that if they thought it was going to happen, if they thought it was going to come out on new consoles with new consoles, I think they'd be talking about it now.
you
I think the fact that they're not is a testament to the fact that it'll probably happen, but it's going to be after the fact.
do you think it'll be because both of these consoles, in theory, Microsoft confirmed, but Sony, in theory, are going to be heavily backwards compatible with the previous gen. So one would think that if you picked up Cyberpunk 2077 in September, and then let's say you paid an additional $20 come the following spring, they would upgrade you to this, fantastic new console version that would run natively on the new console, whereas the copy you have still runs, but it looks like a PS4 is running it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Or they give it long enough to do like a deluxe edition, and it's got all the DLC and everything in it, and you know, now it's on PS5 and Xbox, whatever we're calling it,
Series X.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It's got a name.
Yeah.
It's got a weird name.
It has a weird name.
Series
They're trying to X.
Serious X. I played that game. There's guys who didn't have a head, but they held bombs.
Oh, I gotta tell you this. I talked to somebody today at length on a phone call, and they kept saying, we were talking about numbers of things. It's like, well, we've got 8 of these spots and 9 of these and blah, 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 all these numbers. And this one person, I'm not going to out them, but this one person kept saying, well, I had sex. And the way they said it over and over, it sounded like they said, I had sex. And I wanted to sing that song so bad, that like Lonely Island song.
Yeah.
I just had sex. That one. I wanted to just belt it, but I couldn't because that wouldn't have been appropriate, it turns out, especially in that particular company. But she just kept saying, I only had sex, she'd say.
Did you tell her to stop bragging?
I felt like saying, dude, pronounce your number better. That's what I felt like saying. Anyway, so where the hell was I? What am I doing here?
It's Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. Delayed and no next gen announcement. However, if you're getting this on PC, you're basically getting the next gen version of the game. One would think, at least something more comparable to what will end up on those other two consoles anyway. So it doesn't really bother me, but it is happening, and it will be a little later than everybody thought. I'm totally fine with this, because if you got to polish it a little bit, great. The word is from them and from other internal leaks that the game is done and playable, but they just want to polish it, tweak it out, make sure we're, good on every possible little bug, iron out stuff. Totally fine with that, as long as it doesn't mean people are going to, slave labor themselves into a early death by cramming between now and September. So I guess we'll see.
I think pretty universally our feelings around here for delays is good.
Yeah, we're okay with it.
Don't put something out too early.
Yeah, and also don't do too much crunch. I'd like to see this industry get away from so much crunch.
Yeah, I mean, rumor is that these sorts of things do the sort of deal where it just sort of extends crunch for whatever time it's been delayed. Yeah. Hopefully that's not the case, but
I saw 2 articles of both Cyberpunk and Doom Eternal are on mega crunch.
Oh yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
So
I mean, as much as everybody says we've got to change the thinking and the stuff and let's have less crunch, I don't know how you actually do it, because what you're talking about is such a massive undertaking paired with release dates that have all sorts of like stock implications, and the money is hanging on every thread. So you can't just willy-nilly, push stuff. And so that stuff is just, I feel like it's just a side effect of the business, and I don't know how you never not have that. I think it.
Yeah, because in show business, that's pretty normal, right? Like, I mean, I think because like game development has one foot in the technical arts and one foot in show business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so that, if you're in theater, the week before you go on, you're crunching day and night to put on a good show for people. It's pretty normal. But then you have downtimes. I think it's the protracted crunch that is bad.
Yeah.
If it's like, if you're crunching because it's a few months before launch is one thing. If you're crunching for 2 years solid, then that's just your life now. That's not. Yeah.
That's not crunch. That's just bad living. That's what that is.
I mean, then you get burnout, everything. Like, it's bad for them too. Like, if you have a workforce and you're constantly crunching, you're not setting yourself up for long-term success.
Yeah.
And maybe those companies don't care. I don't know, but that's what. I mean, they ruin it for everyone.
I think they do, but then there's a whole culture in games of layoffs after a thing ships, and then...
it's like things like that I think could be a little more targeted for improvement. Not to say that crunch is okay and we should all be okay with workers, going through that, because that's rough. But I think a lot of companies, a lot of industries, and a lot of businesses have that. I'm having that in my own job and have had to deal with that. Like, okay, well, it's only till here, and then that goalpost gets moved. Like, it happens in a lot of places. I think if the rest of the business around that, though, created a better, more stable environment, it might be a little easier to swallow when it happens.
Yeah.
And obviously shoot for as little as possible.
Yeah,
I think it comes from fear of panic too, because games kind of live or die on launch, but they also live or die on how long they spend in development. Like, if you're in the year 2010 and you're trying to get your game up by 2013 and you get it out in 2017 and there's all these new consoles, or you know what I mean, like, they can't sit in limbo forever, because I think there's a fear there about the product being less relevant the longer it waits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I think it depends on the developer and the clientele they've accumulated. Like Blizzard people, if you're a fan of Blizzard games, I think you forgive certain things. Like, there's never been a cutting edge gen graphical Blizzard game. They've been beautiful and fun to play, but that's not the case, and everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, and we also are okay waiting until they're done or ready, or at least traditionally. Even though you've seen them tighten that up, but even Blizzard, I mean, they've had their share of crunch in years past, or stories of it. I don't think
they do too, but
I don't think there's anybody in this industry that's free of it, unless they're like a small team that just gets to slowly do what they want, and somehow they've got money to live, and you know, I don't know if that how often that happens, but maybe some small indie game where people are doing it on the side or something. Maybe there's an option where crunch doesn't exist, but eventually it catches up with you. And if you're good and people play your games, and you sell a ton of copies of something, and you move on to the next project, now expectations are just that much more magnified and intense, and you're expected to outdo what you did last time. That's hard, man. Like these Doom guys, this Doom game we're going to talk about soon, this Doom game the kids are talking about. When we get to talking about that in the video we saw, like we have huge expectations for that game because they nailed it so hard in 2016 against all expectation. They nailed it. Like nobody quite knew if that was going to work, and it did in spades. So now they have this extra thing, and that's the like the weird double-edged sword of gaming. If you have a great success, you now have this incredible pressure to like match what you did last time or exceed it. And
you probably crunched on the first try.
Right.
So you're like,
Right.
Right. He's like, I hope you didn't give it everything you got on that first try because we want more. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. And you're
and we're in a world where game development doesn't end once you put the game out. It's like, okay, well, now start getting ready for your day one patch, and you got to start getting ready for the first DLC release that's going to come out, and if something's not making players happy, you better be ready to react to that. Like, it's good in the way that longevity does help avoid the, all right, you put the game out, congratulations, you're all out of work because we don't have anything planned for the next little while. Like that tail does help alleviate some of that, but at the same time, it does kind of mean that, you get to what should be the end and the point where you rest, you suddenly can't do it.
Yeah, there isn't any, and it's a bummer. But I'm selfish and want Cyberpunk 2077. So here we go, everybody. We can sit down and get ready because crunch time or not, we're playing that game in September. Woo!
Man, September. It's
a ways off.
I'm okay with it, but it's a ways off.
It is a ways off, yeah. Well, we'll get to play. Look, April was looking pretty packed, and then 2 or 3 games have been pushed, and that was one of them. That's a major one. So we don't get Avengers then. We don't get this then.
Don't get Final Fantasy, which
right.
Oh wait, no, we do get Final Fantasy. It's been moved to April.
Oh right, that was being delayed, but just to April, right?
Well, man, Scott, that really frees you up to play Resident Evil 3. How does that make you feel?
I was thinking that it might just free me up to continue to be having a rad time in the new Animal Crossing game, and then maybe come April I'll be all set for Desperados 3, which looks real good. Mm-hmm. Those are the things I'm making space for. I don't know about this Resident Evil 3 thing with basically Mr. X with a flamethrower. F that noise.
Yeah.
Don't know about that. Oh, and
we got to finish Resident Evil 2 first, John.
Yeah. Oh, right. Sorry, my bad.
We are also due for new video cards. I didn't think about that. That's coming soon. Oh, geez. This cycle. We got to get off this train one day. Like every year, there's a cool thing I want, and I can't buy all that stuff. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I'm moving in March, late March, early April. So the less money that I have to spend in those months, I am extremely happy.
Oh, good point. Yeah, these games, you're probably dodging a bullet a little bit with these games.
It's selfish, I know, but that's kind of how I keep looking at all the delays.
It's all fine. Also, some leaks for GTA 6 and Spider-Man 2 are out there. Where are these coming from? Because I haven't actually seen either. What do we know, John?
So, one of them, I saw the news story on GameSpot, the one about GTA 6, basically confirmed through, I believe, a tax notice is where a Rockstar tax filing confirmed GTA 6. I mean, neither of these are really surprising. Like, even if what is leaking out doesn't ultimately prove to be true, is it really surprising that Rockstar might make a GTA 6?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Is it surprising that they're going to make a sequel to Amazing Spider-Man, which was by all account, or by Sony's account, one of the best-selling, if not the best-selling game from the PS4 generation? Yeah, probably not that surprising that that's going to ultimately happen. But the Spider-Man 2 one actually has a few more details. They did get a list of they did get some information on characters that would be appearing, supposedly some villains that were going to be in there. Gonna have your Venom, your Carnage, your Green Goblin, and
give us a dumb one. Give me a dumb villain. Who should they have? Give me a.
They confirmed on the list, and he's not dumb, but definitely not A tier. Cardiac.
Oh, Cardiac.
He's one of the characters.
All right. What does he do? Give everyone heart attacks all the time? Is that his deal?
Well, he is a doctor, Scott, and he, he got sick of the red tape and his inability to help patients, so he turned to crime.
Oh, geez.
So he could perform medical procedures on people. Like, he's kind of an anti-hero, right?
Okay.
Like, you know how the Punisher kills people that deserve it?
Yeah.
Like, Cardiac's gonna save people at any cost.
Wow. Okay. He
looks cool.
Sounds like a dumb villain, though. A little bit, don't you think, Bo? A little bit dumb.
Well, the art I'm looking at, he's got this black suit on, like a black spandex suit, as heroes do, and he's got knee pads, shoulder pads, got a weird face thing. But what's noticeable is he's got this pad over his crotch.
Yeah.
Well, that's just this one art. It looks like mostly he just has a stripe down there. He's a weird looking character.
Protect Jimmy at all costs is his motto. So that's
let me show you the image so you can comment on it, and I'm not the only one that sounds weird.
All right, put it in the Discord. Oh, look at that. That's a guy supposed to be a doctor?
Well, wow. Yeah, I mean, but he's like a super villain doctor too, you know.
Okay.
He's like, what kind of a costume would a superhero doctor wear?
Yeah, what would he wear? How about blue, white?
I get that the lines on his head are, I guess, meant to be like EKG readout.
Yeah, they're on his legs too. I could see that. Yeah, it's all very. I don't know.
He's got like those episode 3 droid electric staff things. Like it's
just he's got a weird tiny micro dong pad that just like the artists seem to emphasize it in the art. It just looks weird.
Micro dong pad.
If you're gonna get in fights and hey, I'm becoming a superhero / villain, I'm gonna be getting in a lot of fights.
Yeah.
You should plan for your dong.
Be prepared for your dong.
I wonder how they'll handle it on the game.
His dong?
If it'll be his weak spot. Yeah. A spot glows red and you got to hit it. Like that's like, I mean, did you see this picture?
Wait, does yeah, I know I did, but does Spider-Man does he fight? Is he his villain? Like, does he fight against this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, he's a Spider-Man villain as far as I can tell. They see covers of Amazing Spider-Man here.
All right, I'm into it.
Yeah.
So all right, well that's cool. Let me ask you this: no dates, no leaks for any possible day. We're probably talking a year or more.
No, but the rumor is this year, and the rumor is not next gen console for Spider-Man anyway.
Boring.
So the rumor is that it's coming out on the PS4.
That's boring to me. I want that on because you know how I am about this tail end of console cycles. This is how I get about.
I heard you say this, and this is wrong. This is the wrong mindset, Scott. And
I can't help it. I know it's not a healthy one, but here's how it goes, so that everyone understands where I'm coming from. When a new console is announced, if it happens a year and a half before, I'm still pretty good. I'm okay. If they make a game announcement for a release date the year they're getting a new console at the end of this year, and they tell me that the thing that's coming out, the hot new game, is PS4 only, and not coming for the PS5, I hate that. I hate it. Like
they just did it with Cyberpunk, and you were fine.
It's because I'm getting it on PC. This is an exclusive. Spider-Man 2 is an exclusive. If you told me Spider-Man 2 is coming to PC, the conversation's over.
What's the difference?
Because the PC is going to look better on day one. I've already got SSD and all kinds of things that these consoles are going to have. I've got a video card that's arguably more powerful than anything they're going to put in their consoles. That's like I'm already next gen, and I can advance right along with it. And I can play really old games and new games and games on the horizon. There's no date.
But you liked Spider-Man on the PS4.
I did. I think that game could have used 60 frames per second and a little bump in the graphics department.
So now they're going to give you one that does probably look and play better because it's going to be optimized. And you're still like, nah, because it's not on the PS5. Have you played launch games? Like, they're usually... First of all, not that big of an improvement, and second of all, noticeably like oh boy, look at all the stuff they had to cut to get this out on the new hardware.
Well,
like,
okay, fair enough. But here's what I also know about the new consoles. This time around, I think it's a little different because these kind of are like PCs, and so is the transition. The transition between 360 and PS3 was weird because a PS3 used their freaking weird chip, Sony architecture thing that was hard to program for, and a PS4 is basically a PC. Xbox used PowerPC, which were basically old Mac Pros back in the day, and then jumped forward into what is basically a PC with Xbox One. And so they've made that was a hard transition, and they usually are like that for almost every generation. It's like a weird new architecture, hard to program for. But this time, PS4 to PS5, Xbox One to Xbox Series X, these are smooth transitions from PC-based hardware to PC-based hardware. So in theory, they are ready to launch one of these Spider-Man 2 games with double the frame rate, 4K, and freaking all the bells and whistles because the transition is much simpler. There's not a lot of programming hoops to jump through, in theory.
All right.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, no, it feels plateau. It feels like a plateau-y shift right now. We haven't seen what exactly the new games will look like. I assume the new console will have 4K.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
here's the only thing I'll say.
What?
I don't know. I haven't done any research, so get ready to throw down and prove me wrong because I'm thinking of maybe a couple cases of this. I will put any game consoles like final slew of big games against any next game consoles opening round of games, and I guarantee you they're better on the old console.
Every time. You're right, leading up till now. But again, that's because architecture changed drastically, dramatically.
This is the difference.
This is the difference. Yeah, this is the time where it really changes. In years past, I'm less picky because I understand that transition, and you're totally right. Like, absolutely, first wave of games on any new console, it's a problem. I think they're getting it. I think that's soon to be a thing of the past because architecturally speaking, they are in the same pipe. Like, it is no different. It's a lot like if you had a PC you bought 4 years ago and you go buy one today. Suddenly all the graphics are better, but you're plugging in the games and off you go. Like, it's not going to be. And I also, and some of this stuff has to be confirmed more firmly by both companies, by both major platform holders. But you should be able to on day one play the entire PS4 library on your PS5, the entire Xbox One library on your Xbox.
Okay,
Series
so there
X.
you go. What if you played it on the PS5? Does that fix your problem?
It might very well.
Bad?
No, it might very well. What I'm saying is, if Spider-Man came out in July, that would irritate me because I would rather wait until this new console to get confirmation on all that and play it there.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
I gotcha.
And again, it's very much about this particular transition, and that's why I've been so excited about it because it is the first time this has happened. Like, even in the 16-bit, 8-bit, all those old eras, when they went from a platform to a new platform, it wasn't just the same architectural path. It was a totally different animal every time, and that's been the way it's been until now. It's the first time it hasn't been that way.
You know what? I think there's your counterpoint to what I said. I think what I said was pretty right, but NES to Super NES, I think the Super NES launch lineup can stand against the NES end. There's some really good games on the Super NES launch.
Mm-hmm. On the launch, yeah, the launch was good.
I think the Super NES launch outshines the NES end, whatever you want to consider that to be.
I've been streaming that Super Mario RPG. Never played it in the day. I like
Super NES, right?
Yeah, I like that game.
I watched you play some of that.
Yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, John was in the chat room. I've been playing it on an actual piece of Nintendo hardware, not just some emulator, but I'm playing it on this. What do they call it? Super NES.
Oh, so you're having the true classic console experience.
Oh, totally, absolutely.
That's amazing.
But it's the mini.
Except, I just want to point this out as somebody who watched the stream.
What's up?
Scott will be standing next to a inn that has a save spot in it, and he's still save scumming his way through it. Like,
oh, totally.
They literally have save points in that game, and sometimes he will be right next to one and still go, well, better do a save spot right here.
If that game had an F5 key, I'd be hitting it every 5 seconds. Like, that's how I play now. But I also picked up this. I got the Genesis mini thing.
Oh, Nice.
Yeah, it was on. It was so cheap. It was $30 for like 2 days only at GameStop, and now they're back up to full price. But it's the little little Genesis.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and this even has like a working cartridge slot. Not that it'll take cartridges, but I mean it actually has a little flap, and then you can get all the tower of stuff like 32X. Sega CD underneath.
Oh, you can buy the little pieces to build up the.
You can. Now they're just plastic and they don't do anything, but it'd be fun to do it. It just is like, oh my gosh, remember how they used to do this? But anyway.
See, it's funny you mentioned that though, Scott, because you know what one of my favorite consoles of all time is?
What?
I owned and loved and adored and still do to this day. I had the Sega CDX.
I did too. I loved that thing.
That console was amazing.
I sold it though.
Loved that thing.
I loved it too. I sold mine though. I'm mad. I wish I had it now. I would love to have that thing still.
Yeah. Wasn't it great? Like, and you went over to your friend's house who had a Sega CD and they had the Abomination that they created.
Yep.
And it's like 80 miles wide and, 3 feet tall. And you're like, man, look at this. I got a nice little, looks like a Walkman, like a thick Walkman. Oh, the CDX was great.
Yep.
I loved that thing so much.
Put Eternal Champions in the back slot. Freaking put Sewer Rat in the front if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's hard to think of a great Sega CD game.
There's none, but well,
Sonic
the
CD was
Sonic
pretty
was good. And you know what I really liked because I loved a good hockey game. Well, Bo, you'll like this. You're Canadian.
Oh my god!
I played.
Look at that.
I played. So 1994's version of NHL, NHL '94, was the greatest hockey game ever made. I still say to this day, it was amazing. And the Genesis version of the game played wonderfully. It was great, but it sounded like shit. They came out with a Sega CD version of that same game, and I had to get it. So I rushed out, picked up that game, and it was great. It had real crowds going, doing all the stuff you do at a game, and like the music, and the crowd. It was so good. I love that hockey game, and I played that on my CDX till that thing just about broke. And I had the 6-button controllers, which, by the way, you can buy for these, but they're $19. Why would I do that? That seems dumb.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. I mean,
but I like that 6-button controller a lot.
Yeah, that's the other problem is the 3-button is cool in an OG way. And these are legit. They feel like the old controllers. And it's made by Sega. This isn't some knockoff or whatever. But the 6-button was the jam, dude. That thing was so good.
There was a Spider-Man game on Sega CD that one of these days, it's hard to find actually, but you should find somebody who has ripped the cutscenes to that thing. And there's some audio for you, Scott.
What's it called?
I don't know. Spider-Man Sega CDX version.
Sega
I think it has something to do with the Kingpin in there.
Let me look at it. Whoops, I spelled Spider-Man Sploderman. Hold on.
Wait, that was an actual game, right?
Here it is. The Amazing Spider-Man versus Kingpin Sega CD.
Yeah.
Let's play a little bit.
Cutscenes in it.
Let's hear a little bit of this. Oh my gosh. Right now they're just showing off the logo for the Sega CD logo. Oh, there's
Sega.
Yeah, that didn't have the people though. All right. Let's skip ahead a little here. Get some audio.
Yeah, see if you can find a cutscene.
Okay.
That's what you're looking for.
Conventional young man he seems.
Mary Jane.
Hi, Tiger.
Hi, honey.
Wow. Hi, Tiger. That needs to be clipped.
Oh, I'm going through this later. This is a treasure trove in here.
Yep, it's pretty good.
Okay, I'm making a note here. Cap this.
Hi, Tiger.
Okay, hold on. All right, I've saved it. Good call on that. Anyway, it's cool and I like it, and I don't know why I was telling you that story. I don't remember now.
Go down memory lane about the Sega.
Yeah, and I really like the SNES thing. I think these mini consoles are cool. I've been tempted to hack them because everyone's like, "Oh, just hack them and you can load all these ROMs." I'm like, I don't know, I could do that with just.
I guess.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I was just saying we were talking about the transition between consoles.
Oh, right.
And game lineup stacking.
Well, let me ask you this. Go ahead, John.
I did hack my SNES Mini.
Oh, tell me how that went. Was it hard?
No, it was easy. It was pretty easy. I was a little less nervous about trying to find the ROMs back then because Nintendo wasn't coming down quite as hard as they are these days, it seems.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to. It didn't have Chrono Trigger on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chrono Trigger's
I mean,
not on
those
there.
like 64-in-1 cartridges or whatever.
Well, you can no. Well, this thing comes with what 30 games?
Oh, you're talking about the SNES Mini.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the SNES Mini. Yeah, you just plug it into a USB port, loaded up some software.
That was it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I may have to talk to you because I kind of want to do it. I'm tempted.
Okay.
Is it bad? Is it dumb to do? Should I
mean,
not?
they warn you that it could brick the console. Like, there's this very slim chance that it could just kill it. But yeah, that was worth it for Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, ROMs are not allowed.
Have you played it, Chrono Trigger, since you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played that and Secret of Mana, which is Secret of Mana on there?
It is,
or
yeah.
is that one
No, it's
it
on
is.
there. Yeah, it's on there.
Okay, cool. Well, then I played one that was allowed and one that wasn't.
So did you play all of Chrono Trigger on this console, on your SNES Mini?
Not all of it. I played a lot of it.
Okay. No, that's good. I mean, because what I would usually do with a project like this is I would load a bunch of stuff up and then not touch it. That's what I would worry about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played so I know it has Mega Man X by default, but X2 is the really good one. So I put that on there. Played a bunch of Mega Man X2. And yeah, just went through, picked all the games I liked, put on a whole bunch of them. It's got room for almost anything. So
Really?
you know.
Is that memory?
Man, Secret of Mana is an awesome game.
It is,
It
right?
is.
The reason that was awesome is that I could actually play with my brother. It was 3-player co-op.
Mhm.
We had a multi-adapter, which we had for some sweet Bomberman action. We played it
Dude.
at 4 players.
Super Bomberman was so good.
Super Bomberman 64 is probably one of the greatest multiplayer games of all time. My family would never play video games except that game, and the
Yeah.
laughs always came, and it was a favorite.
It's so good.
There's something very simple about it that is accessible to all kinds of people who don't play video games, can play it and get amusement from it, and yet it's challenging if you're good at the game because the controls are wonky.
Yeah, and there's really cool like tactical stuff if you're good. Like it's awesome. That game's great. It bums me out that the Bomberman didn't become the kind of, I mean, I know it's had plenty of versions and different stuff, but it never. I think it deserved to be like high echelon, always thought of as one of the great multiplayer things of all time. Maybe it is.
It needs someone with the Doom mentality to go and say, Bomberman is just this thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to stop trying to put our fancy ideas to make Bomberman better and just make Bomberman.
Yeah. Just lean into what made it great, and that's it.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. That would be good. Why I dropped something that I can't find. Oh, there it is. Bomberman. We should play that game. There's actually a bunch of knockoff style Bomberman games on Steam. Some are free to play. They're pretty good. We should play those sometime.
Yeah.
Just to have a little multiplayer time. All right. That's that. What else? Oh, the GTA 6 rumors. Is any meat to that, or is it just, hey, we're working on that? Because I kind of figured they were.
We're just working on that.
All right. I don't know. I'm interested in seeing whatever the heck that is. I mean, GTA 5.
You think we'll get some other kind of weird Rockstar game before GTA 6, though?
No.
Like
These
the
guys.
palette cleanser.
Well, like LA Noire and Manhunt, or, they always, in that Rockstar cabinet of games, there's always a weirdo.
Ping pong.
Yeah, but those are. They haven't done that since what? GTA 4? They haven't made one of those. Right?
Yeah. Well, LA Noire is the last one I can think of.
And that was a different studio. They pulled that in and just was publisher for it. So they didn't even make
that's
that
true.
thing.
That's true. I just always assume it's Rockstar because it's their name branded on the game.
Yeah. And maybe they could publish something small. I don't know. But my guess is they now have two methods of printing money. One is called GTA. The other is called Red Dead. And I think they just alternate those every 6.5 years and just, keep bringing us that.
That series has evolved in a real weird way. Like, it's just strange because I think of that game now and like I like GTA. I'll usually get it and play it. I don't want to sound like I'm just like, that game's awful, but like it's so funny how where they started and where they've gone to, where it's almost like a life simulator where you commit a bunch of crimes as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the direction that the Saints Row franchise went into, which is very much still what I think I actually want from those types of games.
I want where they I wanted Saints Row 3 and then more of that. I'm not sure 4 or anything beyond that really works for me as well. But I'm with you.
You guys ever
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No,
you
you're
were
good.
finished talking.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't even remember what I was saying. Go ahead. You're good.
Damn it. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
no, you're all good.
Um,
It's not a problem.
But I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say, have either of you guys played APB Reloaded or APB?
Oh, it
I
was an
played
MMO or
APB,
something,
yeah.
right? MMO.
That game started off so awesome. It was an MMO game
Yeah.
that was, I think, by the original creator of GTA, not the Rockstar people now, but I want to say Terry Jones or David Jones or whatever his name is, was behind it. And I played in beta, and it was awesome. You could play as the cops, and you could arrest people. It was a really cool game that somehow got ruined along its path, and they relaunched as Reloaded, but it was like a pay-to-win nightmare place. And I logged in, and the quality didn't seem to be getting any better. So, but I really think like GTA could be just an online game of cops, and like what it basically is now. It's just, why are they relaunching it with the game? They should just have an online service that's that experience. I don't know.
Well, GTA Online has been so. Here's why I would say that I think your thinking's good, but here's why I'd say that we're both wrong, and that is that the MPD numbers were released last week about highest selling video games of the last decade, so 2010 through 2020. Well, 2019, I guess, because 2020 is still ahead of us. But anyway, the number one, so like 8 of the 10 slots were Call of Duty games, and one of them was Minecraft. That was at like number 10. Number 1, far and away, GTA 5. For a decade, best-selling video game.
So why would they change it if...
I think that model... Well, it's not only that. So the reason I say that is because they made a crap ton of money on selling it in the first place, and then doing it again for next generation of consoles because people wanted the upgrade, and then again on PC, and then they launched GTA Online, and GTA Online is a money printer. That thing makes so much money for them. And it's basically that what you're asking for, just their version of it, and it's on the tail end of a.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but they've made so much freaking money.
It's just it's not that good of a game to begin with, and like it makes so much. Like, I get that it's a good game and it's enjoyable, but I don't look at GTA and go, "Wow, I'm impressed." You know, I don't know. It's weird. I guess certain people like it, and a lot of people do, so that's fine.
I like GTA. I don't like it as. I like it. I mean, I'll play whatever. I'm
not saying it's bad. I'm not trying to say anything salacious. I'm just like, it's never the most impressive thing at any given moment when we're like, look at what's happening here with this cool technology or this cool game, or you know what I mean? I don't know. It always just seems super unappealing. Like, it's like real life, except it's full of crass jokes. Like, I don't know. It's very unappealing to me.
No, we're actually in a weird similar spot with GTA. I feel the same way. I almost universally hate the protagonist, so I'm not really liking who I'm even playing as. So yeah,
like Red Dead to me looks cool, even though I've never played them.
Red Dead is different though. Red Dead plays it more close to what is an actual hero and how can you get behind them and be stoked about them, whereas GTA is a parody of gangster, you know, the worst parts of humanity in big cities like LA and New York, and they play it to like the 10th degree. It's like, well, what extreme stereotype can we have for this gangster or this, you know, this guy?
See, I don't think they go far enough. That's why I like Saints Row, because I feel like Saints Row went into that realm of parody, and I feel like as Saints Row went further with the parody, GTA tried to rein it in, and they landed in a place that's just a little like weird. Like, it's an odd space where it's like, well, I don't like this guy because he's supposed to be a caricature, but also he's not likable at all because he's just real enough to not be great. So
it's not a caricature. It's not enough of a caricature. I agree with that. I wish it was more like that. Saints Row. I would love Saints Row to kind of get back to what they did in 3, because 3 is freaking amazing. Oh my gosh.
You know what I wish they did with Saints Row? Here's my pitch. I'll give it to you because I don't know if I've told anybody this. I think it's great. So Saints Row 4 ended with them being thrown back in time.
Yeah. See, I hate that part. That stuff I don't like.
No, it's great. It's great. So it went back to them being back in time. Well, Saints Row grew out of being a Grand Theft Auto clone that then went in its own direction. So I say they copy the other Rockstar property and say they got thrown back into the Wild West and make a Red Dead Redemption parody that's all like a bunch of like thugs and gangsters, but in the Wild West. And slowly you unlock modern day stuff in the West.
Okay, you're kind of
So like I've never played Saints Row, but I assume it's the kind of game where you get like a dildo gun, right?
A dildo bat, but yes, you are 100% correct.
So I like the idea of a Western 1800 version of a dildo. It's like metal or something with like nails coming out of it. Like, yeah, it's just perfect.
I like the part that you're glomming onto is the dildo part. That's great. I like.
Well,
that.
I don't know anything about Saints Row. I never played it. I've just seen marketing, and it does look exactly how. What I'm picturing is exactly what I'm going to get if I on the cereal box.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I think that is actually a decent idea, John. Like, I wouldn't mind if they. The thing is, I don't know that they want their brand to be, hey, whatever Rockstar does, we'll parody it. But part of me would like them to say that and just do that. Like, that would be okay. Like,
I mean, to me, that's taking the joke another step further, which is exactly what they do.
yeah.
Can you spell Saints Row with an E on Saint and E on Row to make it look like old English?
Mm-hmm.
Saints Row.
Well, I think part of the reason I didn't like GTA. Wait, which was it? GTA San Andreas. I didn't like San Andreas, even though a lot of people think it's one of the best things they ever made. I didn't like San Andreas because San Andreas was a reminder that hard shit happens to real people all the time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a parody and it wasn't a gangster movie. It was kind of just people having to deal with really awful stuff. You know what I mean?
Although you say that, but like, first of all, you're not wrong. But I now feel like I need to take back what I said because San Andreas is the one time I liked the protagonist.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I'll give you that. The protagonist is good, but I also liked it. I like the what was his name in Vice City? He was great. I like that guy.
Neat. Oh, Tommy, right?
Tommy was it? I like Tommy. I like Tommy, and I kind of like in GTA 5. I like who's the black guy? I love him. I like him.
In which one?
The new one, GTA 5.
Oh,
because you have the three,
the only
right?
one I can remember the name of is Trevor.
Freaking Trevor is such a douchebag. Trevor's the worst, but so it's Trevor. Who are the other two guys? Gosh dang it. There's the one that's kind of like the Italian mobster guy. He's like basically Tony Soprano ripoff.
Yeah.
And then you got East LA, what's his name? He's the family.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the kid.
East LA, what's his name?
I like that guy. He's cool. I liked
right.
him. I don't remember his name. And he dealt with that. He dealt with one of the funnier.
Franklin Clinton.
Franklin, that's it.
Yeah.
Franklin.
Yeah, that's it.
I like Franklin a lot. He was my favorite to play, and I kind of wish during that whole game that I was always just playing him. But in terms of like the longevity of that game, it's undeniable. Like people are still playing it. By the way, it still looks incredible all these years later, and simulates a city maybe better than anything I've seen ever. And that goes a long way. So they obviously have sucked a ton of money out of it. They continue to. That thing sold more. And those NPD numbers were just copies sold. Nothing to do with like the back end money they make off online. Like it is just pure copies sold. So I don't see how they change that. You know what I mean? Like they're going to just keep rolling that out. I'm looking at APB Reloaded still on Steam.
How are the recent reviews holding up?
Well, it says here's a recent review. Posted December 30th, 2019 is the most recent. Oh, that's most helpful. Let's look at recent. Hold on.
It was the last thing somebody took the time to say about this old, forgotten game.
Okay, January 22nd, someone said, nice game. And then the next guy said, the next guy's named King Miko says gangster, and then thumbed up it. All right, then here's Sale Nirvana says, okay, here's a negative one. January 21st. Super scuffed Saints Row or GTA. Whoever made this heart must have been eating chunks of baby heart.
Oh, geez.
I don't know what that means.
I don't think the hearts made it less disturbing, actually, in this situation.
The recent reviews are actually kind of positive, but
is there a place to see I guess you have to go to Steam Spy to find out how many people are playing it and all that?
Yeah, I guess so. I would assume so. The graphics look like they've gotten a bit of an overhaul recently because these look a lot better than they did in the 2011 videos. Still not amazing looking, but
these look like the 2011 videos.
Yeah, the
I mean, the
videos
thing
are
is,
old.
they made a game that speaks to me because it was all about, okay, make your character and then like customize it in a way to where you are whatever version of a street tough or police officer you want to be, and I was down with that.
Yeah, I love the
Like
idea
one
of it.
part was arresting people, and then the other part was making your character.
Well,
look
the really fun part too, that was fun. Like I agree with everything John said. Was also like when I played as a cop, and just the feeling of chasing criminals. Like you'd be in a team, you'd have your teammate, your partner, and you'd just be like hoofing it for like 10 minutes, try get that guy, just like jumping over fences, like. And they were real players trying to get away from you, not bots that are programmed to trip like 3 minutes into the chase or something like that. Like there's this intensity to chasing down your prey, and criminals that were on sprees, you'd get alerts for them. So then you'd be like, oh man, let's go get that criminal because they're getting away with too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The concept thought was like pretty beautiful. It's just a shame that the game is,
Yeah.
not. Like I said, I tried it a little later on, and it seemed like a microtransaction Garbo fest at that point. But maybe they've cleaned it up since then. It's
Maybe a bit.
2011, so it's 9 years old.
Well, that's true. No, wait, that's 9 years old.
Yeah.
I'm good at the math. All right. Quick note on this Doom Eternal stuff. So a bunch of sites were able to review the first 2 hours of the game. It's kind of like an early review thing they're doing. And I've yet to read anything negative. Everybody's freaking out, saying it's great. It's a huge game, double the size of the previous game by some accounts. That it's they're even though they're sticking to the tried and true stuff that made 2016's entry awesome, they're adding things to it that are smart and really well done. I read somebody call it the thinking man's stupid shooter, which is an interesting way to put it.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. But it seems like it's everything we want it to be. And there are even some RPG elements, which were not in the previous game, that aren't too obtrusive, but enough to make a little progression interesting. And I'm stoked. It sounds amazing. I guess everybody got the same 2 hours, I would assume, all these sites. I don't actually know.
I watched a
Yeah,
few
I think-
different videos, and they were all the same areas.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I think they were allowed to play for a certain amount of time from the beginning and then record what they wanted within that, but only 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I have one reservation, and it won't make the game any worse or better. I'm fairly confident, but
What's that?
like this, I saw there's a little scene that they show in there. It looks like it's an older Doom Slayer giving advice to you, the new Doom Slayer, and I'm like, oh lore, like.
Well, don't worry, because all these reviews say if you're looking for lore and story, go somewhere else because they don't mess around here with too much of
But
that.
they might not be in that build. They're showing specific stuff, right? Like if I get a 5-minute cutscene explaining I'm from a long line of Doomslayers, I'm still gonna play and like the game, but I'm gonna be upset about that.
Yeah.
I don't mind it as long as, like, as they start to say it, I'm still fighting, and then I cut the person off so that I can kill a demon.
Right.
It's
Or-
just, yeah. The thing is, I like the idea that I'm some schlub that just doesn't happen to die. Like even in Doom 2016, when they're like, the Slayer is some legend, I'm just like, shut up and walk away, because I'm like, that's like, because it's not true. That's not the lore. It's just some demon lies about the legend of it. Like I am just a guy who refuses to die. That's it.
I think that's fine to have that in your head, because I also kind of have the same thing in my head. I like when they get stupid, though. I like dumb, over the top stuff, and the game is self-aware enough to not make that stuff feel like they're trying too hard. Like when the whole game, the last game, I still say one of the greatest intros of any game. The first moments of that game, where you cock that gun.
Yeah.
And you're ready, and that opens up outside, and you're on your way out to Mars. It's just like, this is it. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean they tell you with stuff that you look at for seconds. It's like, okay, well the demons were apparently so afraid of you, they locked you in a stone sarcophagus, which you then break the chains of and just start killing demons left and right, and then there's your armor enshrined by somebody. Somebody was like, "Oh, we got it off him. Let's build a shrine out of it." You put it on, friggin' Samuel Hayden starts talking to you and is like, I'm going to tell you about, and the guy just like freaking punches the console. He's like, I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
I just got to go kill demons. That's all I got to do.
Yep.
And I mean, they set the tone with that narration where the guy's just like, rip and tear until it is finished. And it's just like, okay, that's it. Objective.
Yep.
Got it. Quest log, rip and tear till it is done.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think everything was shown, so hopefully it's very... Like, I don't mind if there's lore around the characters, like, being scared of you and stuff, and all that other business. I just don't want it... I just don't want to come from a long line of Doomslayers. Really, I just...
You want to be be the Doomslayer, and that's it. That's
you know, the voiceless, nameless, storyless protagonist. Everyone else can have a story. That's fine. They can have codexes. That's fine. Just... There's something... You know, in fairy tales, the less they endow something, the more you can bring meaning to it, and that's like the creative aesthetic choice for voiceless characters like Gordon Freeman. And it's because there's less barriers between you and the thing that you're identifying with because it's less defined.
Yeah.
So every definition you make is a potential point of failure in divisiveness for your entry into that character, and I really feel like the Doomslayer is just anybody.
Right. No, I get that.
So, like, I have like a creative like stick in the chip on my shoulder if they're gonna be if they start telling me I'm from some long line of Slayerickuses. You know, I'm Dan Slayerickus from a long line of Slayerickus. I'm just like, oh, I'll be so disappointed in them.
I hope I'll be disappointed if it's Slayerickus as well. I hope they don't use that term. That'd be no good.
Pretty bad.
The early verdicts, according to Tech Radar, this is what they said. Our time with Doom Eternal was an adrenaline incarnate experience. Its frenetic action and pounding heavy metal soundtrack made us feel unstoppable. Every shot, every chainsaw, every punch gave us a jolt of pure energy, and we could not get enough. Doom Eternal has gone from being a dark horse to one of our most anticipated games of 2020. We cannot wait to get our hands on it properly. The Doom legacy continues to hold strong, and with Eternal, we could be in for the most hellish adventure yet. So it seems like a lot of excitement around this thing. March 20th. Not that far off, guys. Doom.
2 months. 2 months. I can't wait.
I can't either. So in the meantime, I've been playing other games, and here's what they are. And we'll be brief here because we want to get to a thing that we're doing at the end of the show here today.
Do we?
John keeps hoping we might go over so that we can't fit this in. I'm we're making it happen. This is happening. So here we go. I've been playing a game called Littlewood.
They call me when I'm only slightly aroused.
Yeah, when I've been out I was in the pool, I would say. No, Littlewood is a game akin to the kind of games you love if you love things like Animal Crossing, if you love things like what's it called, Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley. Yep, totally that kind of thing, but told with this amazingly simplified sort of graphic treatment that reminds me of an old Game Boy game, but not shitty. It's hard to explain the difference, but it's got an old aesthetic, but it feels modern in some other ways. But
indie game?
Yes, indie game. It was number one on the Steam charts yesterday because they were doing a sale. I think it's still going for $11, and it's coming to Switch as well eventually. It is so much freaking fun and has that loop. It's so hardcore, this loop of like go pick up all your carrots that grew overnight, go talk to these 3 people, go do an upgrade at the mayor's office, go to the forest to cut down some trees because you're missing the certain kind of wood you need, try not to die, come back to town, put a new building up, somebody's moved into town, make a building for them, and then gather some money that was left at the restaurant because you put food in there the day before, and then go to bed, sleep it off, get up the next morning, do more of it. And then it's always got that feeling of like, okay, I just went to bed and I've got my sleep and now I just want to do one more day. Okay, one more day. Ooh, one more day. And then the last day, like this literally happened yesterday. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. We're going to go to sleep. I'm going to save when I wake up. I go lay in bed. It goes bling, Thursday or whatever. I wake up and it says, a special visitor is in town. I'm like, oh, shit.
You can't go to bed when there's a special visitor.
Exactly. So I had to run around try to find this guy. And they ended up doing like 3 or 4 more sleep cycles before I left. And it also is very forgiving on a lot of quality of life things. Like if you die because you stayed out too long in the forest or in the mines or something, you don't die and you don't lose your stuff. You just wake up in the mines and you're tired, so you have less stamina overall, but you can still keep working out there as long as you need to. And teleporting home isn't having to find some train, get on it and wait, and then get off it and do all that kind of stuff. They just are not aiming for realism here. So you just teleport around. There's like a hot air balloon that takes you to the major areas, and it's all instant. You can construct things. You can just destruct stuff. I can create a pond of water and put fish in it. I can fish every day. I can use that fish to make money. I'm making fat stacks right now. I got a neighbor who I think is a total douchebag. Instead of being called the mayor, I asked everyone to call me the town peen. So I'm now the town peen. So they all call me the peen. My name is Bumblebutts or Bumblenuts. I forgot my last name. Bumblenuts. And the city is called Glandular for some dumb reason that I could never explain to you why. But you get to choose all that stuff, and it's got this great little loop. Everything's leveling up. Every time you go to sleep, it says you're woodcrafting. Blue, 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 blue. Numbers are going up. Numbers are going up. Like all the stuff you did during the day is leveling and adding to your proficiencies, so you can get more stuff, build more stuff, do more stuff. For the package that it is, and for the price that I paid, it is disgustingly good. It's so good. It's my favorite little thing. And as I played it, I went, "Oh, John would hate this." That's what I said to myself.
I watched you play it. It looked okay.
It's just not your jam. You know what I mean? Like, we've talked about this before. Like, the whole, like, farming shit, that's just not in your... You're not into it.
I like Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon's one of my favorite games ever. I had a hard time getting into Stardew because of control issues, but...
Well, then I think you might like this. Now I take it all back.
Yeah, I thought I might like it. The one that I didn't like that you were playing was because it just reminded me of Farmville. Like, it looked like a free-to-play farm game. And
that thing. Yeah. That was kind of like Farmville. You're right. You're not wrong.
This thing seems a little more up my alley.
Yeah. This is probably more like what you would want to play. I really liked it, and I imagine this is the greatest thing ever for Switch. It would just be like the perfect portable Switch game. Because you could just check in, do a quick day, save it, go somewhere else, put it to sleep, pick it up again, do it again. Like, it's just got all that stuff I love. So this is going to totally tide me over until Animal Crossing comes out, and hopefully that thing lives up to the hype. So we'll see.
Does the game continue while you're away? Is it one of those?
No, it's not one of those. So when it saves wherever you save and quit. When you come back, you're right where you were, and you keep doing your stuff. It does have day-night cycles, and it does have time of year stuff, but I don't think it's as picky. You know, like a lot of the time of year stuff and Harvest Moon and things like that are like, well, hope you didn't plant your cabbages 4 days ago because it's about to be summer, and suddenly all the cabbages are dead because it's summer, and somehow they just all die on the first day of summer. It doesn't have any of that. Stardew has that too. It drives me crazy.
What about dating?
Dating options. So you have a compliment option with everybody, and you can improve your relationships with them. Where that goes, I don't know. But this main girl, Millie or Vanilli, or what the hell's her name?
Millie Vanilli is there?
Gyllenhaal, whatever it is. She's I don't forget her name. Peggy something.
Millie Vanilli Gyllenhaal.
Yep.
She's really warming up to me, so I think we may be going places. I don't know for sure. But my guy looks like John because I made a little guy with like shaved head and stuff.
I wondered about that. I was like, oh, he's playing as me.
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose, but I don't know if you know this about me, but often in MMOs or games where I have to create an avatar of some sort, I not always, but I very often go bald. And I think it's because it's usually because I don't like the hair options. Usually they're kind of stupid or not distinct, or they're too anime or something dumb like that. And I'll just go, well, the bald's cool. I'll make him monk looking, give him kind of glowy eyes, bald head. He's a wizard, whatever. So that's what I did with Littlewood.
You should make a character in Black Desert.
Yeah, totally. And make him bald. And you can call me Peen in that game as well.
Wait, you have a character. You play Berserker, right? That game?
No, it's what's the girl, or no, the guy with the bow? He's a bow shooter guy.
Ranger? There's a Ranger and a Miwa, maybe?
Yeah.
Or
there's
Musa.
There's also a girl who does something that's like the Ranger. But
yeah, the girl is Ranger, the man is Archer. They're they're
right.
different but the same.
Right. In that world, There's no.
But at max level, the archer, the girl, gets a sword instead of a bow as her awakening weapon.
Oh,
anyways,
that's dumb. Wouldn't you want her to stay ranged? That's why you pick her in the first place.
Well, they're working on adding succession, which is keeping the old weapon when you hit max level. But right now, you get your awakening weapon at 58.
Okay. Well, you've learned a lot about that game since we last talked.
I'm a little wood deep into this game.
Well, all right. And then I played more Witcher, which we've talked about at length, so we don't have to talk about it more. And then I played a bunch of ESO this week. I got actually pretty jazzed and excited about their announcement of the Dark Heart of Skyrim stuff that's coming out. They've got a year-long content thing happening, and it's based on some cool vampire stuff. And I don't know if you've seen the trailer or not, but you should. It's very cool. Those vampires are badass. And yeah, I'm really stoked actually about where ESO is going for the next 12 months. So.
It's just the new expansion called Greymore that I've been seeing.
Greymore, that's the one, yep. And you get to play in a huge chunk of Skyrim's zone. You get this huge storyline of dealing with this uprising of vampire stuff, and it looks really cool. I'm very excited about it. And it's the first time they've done a expansion where the plan is that you will have story content for a full year from that expansion that will just go the entire time. Like they've got this big.
Oh, that's what Old Republic does, actually.
Yeah, it sounds similar to that.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal for these guys, because up till now it's always been lots of cool content, but it's story that you can just sort of rip through and beat. And I don't think this is just time gated or anything like you do in WoW or something. I think there's more to it, but what I've seen so far seems really cool. So worth checking out. Bo or John, you played a bunch of 8.3. Speaking of World of Warcraft, and when you first got in, you were like, "This is good," and then I heard later, "I don't like this." What happened?
It was a real roller coaster ride, that 8.3. Depending on when you're talking to me, I either love it, hate it, or am kind of somewhere in the middle, which is probably the realistic side of it. The stuff they added is really cool, but you don't get to do it a lot. And that's one of the chief problems to it, is they've put in this mode that is almost like a roguelike, in that you're doing runs and you're going through it, but your ability to go into that is severely limited. You get about 4 runs a week, and that's it. And for some, that's going to be enough. For some, that's going to be all they want. But if you're like me and you don't do dungeons and you don't raid, and you're going, well, I'm getting kind of sick of dailies, the prospect of some new content is really exciting, a new way to play. And then to be told, like, oh yeah, you're going to get about 30 minutes of game time a week doing this thing, was a real letdown. And so the first week I played through was pretty fun. I was able to upgrade my cloak a lot of times. You could actually get a lot more of these runs in that first week, and made a lot of good progress in the game. Felt really good about it. The second week came out. I knew I was going to be more limited on what I could do for the second week, and I was really trying to get to the next level for my cloak. And I got into my first run, and I'm not doing what a lot of people do, which is go and get guides and find out what the optimal way to run through is. I'm just wanting to go in and experience it. And I knew I had to go to a new district, and I got lost in Stormwind because I'm not always in Stormwind, and I went through a wall that I didn't know I wasn't supposed to go through, because you do go through weird firewalls, and it drained almost all my health. I backed up and aggroed something I had stealthed past, and I got killed, and I failed my run. And when you only have so many that you get in a week, and because you just made a stupid mistake, you've lost that, and that's now not only upgrades that I can't get, but that's also just time doing a mode that I'm really having a good time with that is now just gone. Yeah. That's really, really frustrating, and it doesn't feel good. So that part of it has been really a frustrating thing, because and it's frustrating because it is so good. So for anybody that's sitting out there going, is the content good? It is. It's just they've put this weird mechanic in that I don't like at all. And they already gate all the other aspects of it as well. So it's kind of a trivial gate on top of it, because they already limit how much gear and how many upgrades you can do for the cloak, but then they also limit how many times you can even go in, which makes it harder to go in and want to explore and try new things, or even just look around and appreciate what they did, because you're going through Stormwind and it's destroyed and there's goop everywhere and lore characters are dead or corrupted and there's stuff you want to see, but you can't even take the time to look at it because they just want to, you just got to rush, you just got to run through the thing.
So a little uneven, it sounds like. I mean, I haven't, honestly, I feel a little bad about this, but I haven't even cracked it because I just can't bring myself to care that much. I don't know why. It's my console thing. We're at the tail end again. I want the new thing. I want Shadowlands and I want it now. And I'm not going to get it for another, whatever. And maybe something will strike me, but right now it's just like, I don't know, man. I just can't, I'm not feeling it. I want to feel it.
I made a fox.
Yeah? How's the fox? How do you like the little guy? Is he cool?
It's great, but I mean, I'm doing the same leveling things I was doing before. And to your point, here's where I do kind of understand, although I would ask, like, okay, you're playing ESO. But anyway, we'll leave that alone for now because I kind of get where you're coming from.
I'll tell you why in a second, because that's actually a great point, but I have an answer to it. But go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
But the problem is this expansion's been really alt unfriendly. Like, it's not great for it. And in Shadowlands, they're making a bunch of changes with how you level alts and how leveling works and making it more rewarding and changing the way you do it. So I'm kind of in the same boat as you, where it's like, yeah, I made this fox and it'd be really cool to play them and level them up. But I know that when that expansion hits, that's going to be a better experience. So why do that right now?
Right. I totally get that. So here, let me tell you my justification, because you said, well, you're playing ESO, so what's the difference? And I think I have a very good answer for that, except to say they're just doing stuff that's different, and I don't even mean better. I just mean different. Yeah. And I think I just need different right now. I need something that isn't what I've been doing for 15 years. And they're providing, sure, there are things about it that are like, it's an MMO, yeah, so there's some MMO trappings and whatever, but it's enough in a different direction, enough with more story focus, more hard fantasy focus. It's just taking me to places that I'm not getting to go to in World of Warcraft or any other MMO for that matter, and I like it.
I'm 100% with you on that. That's why I liked these horrific visions, because it's totally different than things you've done before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also why I'm so disappointed by how limited and rushed you have to be to do them. And that to unlock them, you're basically doing the daily stuff that you've been doing all along anyway. So
right.
I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. Right now, I keep kind of fluctuating. When it's fun, it's super fun. When it's not, it's really frustrating.
Bo, what are you doing in the world? You talked about Black Desert. Still enjoying that. Did you play Old Republic? You got in there?
I've got a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
I spent $20 on some cosmetics. Well, an outfit.
Wait, underwear? Did you?
Well, here's a photo of the outfit for my lawn character. That's just a shot. Actually, it's not really high res.
Oh, it's so tiny. Yeah, why is this so little?
I don't know. I'm just taking it off Google Images. It's not my character. It's just.
Right.
But
Here,
yeah, it's $20 sexy outfit.
Are you playing a lady?
I'm playing a lady. You can only play the gender of the class. There's no picking between male and female. So if you want to play that class, you got to play it. That's the lawn. I bought the premium outfit. It was about $20. It looks badass, but yes, it's very skimpy. But that's not even the end of the story. So you can buy underwear for your character in that game. So when you buy an outfit and your underwear mismatches, like you got tidy white, granny panties on or something, and you buy some slick looking sex pot outfit for your badass chick character, well, you need to get the right underwear to go with it. So that's another $7.
Wow.
We're up to 27.
Yeah.
And we're not done. I don't like the shoes. And it turns out there were some other shoes that I could buy to make the whole ensemble work better.
Yeah.
So I bought the shoes, and that was another $4. So the total bill is somewhere in the $30 American range.
Wow.
But I'm happy. I guess maybe I'm not happy. I don't know.
Well,
but I'm still playing that game. It's bad. It's a bad game. I'm bad for doing it, but I'm still enjoying the combat too much.
I think that's great. I don't have any problem with this. I think that's awesome that you found this thing that you like that defies some expectation. That you should even be in there.
I shouldn't be playing it. Like it's just there's some stuff that's so bad that I would lambaste and grief with negative comments about. I'm like, why am I playing this game?
Yeah.
Like you think your collect 10 Boars quests are bad. It's like collect 550 of these things. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mind you, you mow down like packs of enemies like nothing. It's not like you're tab targeting MMO where you have to like target and press buttons. Like you just spin into a group of dudes, and if you're high enough level, you just wipe them out. You do 12 at a time.
Well, that's partly why I like the other thing I'm enjoying about ASO. It's not the same as that exactly, but it's it's not tab targeting anymore. It's I'm almost, it's like playing Skyrim. You're kind of aiming and doing stuff, and I do third person because I like looking at my badass dude, but it's kind of got that same thing where I'm doing something different, and I like the loop of the combat, and it's nice to do something different. I totally know what you're saying.
I can't give Bo crap for that. I have spent hundreds of dollars in Old Republic to try and make my character look the way I want.
Oh my gosh, really?
Speaking of which, I gave Old Republic a try after last week's conversation.
How'd that go?
I quit after I got 40 minutes out of me.
Why so little? You didn't like it?
Because it suffers from what a lot of MMOs suffer from, bad wowitis. Where it's like, it's WoW, but it's bad. I'm like, I could just play World of Warcraft and I have a game that's at least updated, content I haven't, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
It's like, I'm here for the Star Wars. Well, the game is definitely not as loved as World of Warcraft, and it kind of shows in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I can spend my time dressing my character in Black Desert. I think that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So the chat keeps bringing up, I've seen this a couple times, Black Desert has a sequel coming out. Is that true?
There is a sequel called Crimson Desert, but my understanding is that's going to be a single player experience, and it's not a competing or new MMO.
That's interesting. Crimson.
Arguably, chalk this up on another reason Black Desert's a bad MMO. There's pretty much there is group content, but there's no reason to group with people for pretty much anything. Like, there's one co-op mission that I'm a little under-geared for that I could probably gear up to do, but aside from PvP, which I think is guild-based, and it's world PvP, there's no reason to play with other people, which is like every MMO is finding a reason to put you in groups eventually, and this game's like,
I'm coming around on Black Desert. I think Bo just talked me into it.
Yeah, that was all you
needed.
needed.
The whole game is soloable. There's no dungeons where you group with people. Like, I think there are harder endgame dungeons that I haven't got to yet, but I think it's like optional. Like, it's just optional. It doesn't feel like it's an important part of the game. John, it's bad. Like, warning.
No, I'm not actually gonna try it.
It's like you fall in love with somebody, but you know they're bad for it, but you can't help it. You love them. That's kind of what's happening to me.
Wow, look at this game though. I'm looking at the trailer for the Crimson thing.
The graphics on Black Desert and No Doubt in Crimson the things they do well. They do really, really well.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to look at World of Warcraft after playing Black Desert and be like, oh yeah, I can play this in 2020. This like old crap, like, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
The vistas. Wow. And I'm just like, oh, this would be, imagine like what's that well, take anyone, imagine Zangarmarsh, but Black Desert did the Zangarmarsh. It'd be, you know what, I'm just like, new World of Warcraft, get here please.
This is really something, man. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in the chat, or not the chat. Well, I will put it in the chat, but I'm putting that trailer in our thing so John can look at it later. Because John, this is very
was
cool.
that at the Game Awards or E3 that trailer was played?
I don't know. Was it? That's the thing, is this is all coming new to me for some reason.
Yeah, I know. It was revealed sometime recently, like summer or fall. But this, I think, is meant to be a single player RPG experience. But if the combat's similar to Black Desert, it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say the combat. What it looks like to me, what they're trying to do story wise is, this is Witcher or Skyrim territory
game.
Yeah, like that one. That's that kind of RPG. But if they include that kind of combat that they're known for, it could be really something. I mean, I don't know how this is, what the acting's like or the story is any good or any of that.
I mean, judging story based on Black Desert, you were looking at the uber turd. Like the story it's like the worst.
Yeah,
it's really bad. And it doesn't bother me much because, as we established in our Doom Eternal conversation, I kind of don't care. But like, it's really, really bad.
Well, if you don't, I say okay. So if you want good story, play. My argument, or I would actually argue, ESO and probably Star Wars: Old Republic are probably the two story MMOs to play. If you want really great combat, play Black Desert. If you want reliable,
No, I'd say World of Warcraft if you want great combat. If you want fun combat, play Black Desert. Because Black Desert, it's just like you mow stuff down. It's like Diablo. It's really fun, but it's not deep and mechanical. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking for strategic, like World of Warcraft still trumps it, like no problem in that regard.
Yeah, we don't use that word around here. It's okay though. What? You said it trumps.
We don't say World of Warcraft.
No, you said trumps it, but it's fine. We don't want to summon the demon.
I meant from the card playing nomenclature.
Gotcha.
Not, proper noun.
Right. No worries. Everyone's favorite improper noun. All right, let's do this now. So we have old music. This is used for a new thing now. Welcome to an episode of Nexepardy, starring your host, Bo Schwartz.
Oh, damn, we're just starting. Welcome, everyone, to Nexepardy!
Wow, John's so ready for this.
I'm your host, Gorath Trebek, and we have returned to the Nexus to have a test of knowledge between our two competitors, John Jagger and Scott Johnson.
All right.
Welcome.
Ready.
All right, today's map. Guess what today's map is? It's Infernal Shrines.
Oh, geez.
I didn't give you a chance to guess.
We really are in the Nexus. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so just a reminder about how the Infernal Shrines works. Actually, before we do that, we should re-explain the game because it's been over a year. Really quickly, you guys both have cores. They have 30 health each. I'll be recording your scores. If you have map control, you're the one that picks the question. Get the answer right, you retain map control, and you do damage to the enemy's core. Get the question wrong, lose map control, and you do damage to your own core.
Okay. I think I got it.
Cool?
Yeah. Hey,
all right.
By the way, can I share something with you real fast? Do you guys remember when we were looking at album art really late that one night?
Yeah.
Do you remember a song called Music to Be Gay By or whatever it was?
I don't know if that was the title, but yeah.
I think that was it, wasn't it?
No, it was music. It was music to have gay conversations.
No, it was like because it was all about gay conversation, meaning happy conversation. Well, anyway, I found it and I want to play it for our background music. So here, check this out. Really gets going here in a second.
This is perfect.
Oh, I feel gay. All right, go. Let's do it.
All right. Do you guys want to make love? All right. So now there are 3 lanes with different questions in them. All right. Merc Camp, which is the first question, gets you a loot box. Tower does 1 core damage. Fort does 2 core damage. Keep does 3 core damage.
Okay.
All right. Finally, each map in here, Nexepardy, not the other game, has its own special map mechanic that you can encounter. All right. So this one's Infernal Shrines. That means in Infernal Shrines, when the shrine comes up, you can, instead of answering a question, go to collect minion souls and get the Punisher to fight by your side.
Okay.
Now, instead of answering questions, you encounter the shrine and collect 1d20 minions. So I'll roll a d20. Whoever collects 20 skulls first gets the Punisher and a loot box.
Okay.
First shrine spawns second turn. And then over 3 rounds, the Punisher will do randomly one of the following: kill the person that summoned it, BMs the core, kills the opposing player, kills a random question, and finds you a loot box. Summoning the Punisher forces you to give up map control. That's about it. All right.
Wow, super easy.
And you can choose to fight the Punisher if it's against you. To reduce the turn it's alive by 1 round. It has 3 rounds to be alive.
Okay.
And you have a 33% chance to be killed doing it.
Okay.
All right. Killing just means you miss a turn.
All right.
All right. Perfect. You guys ready to get started?
I think so, John.
All right,
Hey,
here,
Sure, why not?
here are the categories. In the top lane, the category is Duel of the Release Dates.
okay.
And so the question is the month of the release date of a recently pushed back game. You guys might know these. We talked about some
Yeah,
today.
it's
All right,
true.
all right.
Might,
All right.
I might do okay with that.
All right.
In the mid lane, we have a modicum of mods. And what it is I'm going to tell you about a mod for a game and its description, and you have to guess the game.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
The bot lane, we've got Mighty Mouth and Music Singers.
What?
And that's where I hum the tune and you figure out the game.
Oh.
Okay,
No.
great.
Now we're gonna
Oh.
roll a d20, higher or lower for your going first.
Higher.
Yeah, lower.
I'm gonna make it a d100 because d100s are all about. That's what we're all about here next Cypher.
All right.
You said higher, John.
John
Yeah.
says higher. I say lower.
The roll is 68. You go first.
All right, give me the music one.
Give you the music one.
You're
Okay,
gonna start
perfect.
with
So
the
this is
music
for
one.
a loot box.
All right.
So if you get it wrong, you won't take damage. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, sorry, I gotta find the right question. All right. Did it dun 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 dun.
Do I buzz? How do
No,
I
you
make
have
this
map control.
stop and make a? Okay.
Yeah,
Is it what is Super Mario Brothers?
you get a loot box. Congratulations.
Hey, look at that! I haven't lost my edge.
Hey, Nice job.
So let's get you a loot box, sir. What do you get today? 41. A 41 nets you a deal with it spray.
What?
I feel like I need that.
What is
That's my
that?
general attitude
All
about
right.
this coming back.
It has a single use, and you can use that while doing damage to the enemy's core or killing an opponent to add 1 damage. One
Okay,
time. It's a
great.
consumable. You have map control.
All right, let's keep with this category.
Okay.
All right, what is Doom?
You got it. 1 core damage to Scott's
All right, let me do
core.
the deal with it. Do another damage.
All right, you use your deal with its spray, doing another damage, bringing. Oh, whoops! I put that on your core. I'll put that on Scott's core. 28 damage, or 28 health left, 2 damage.
Is it
You s-
statistically enough to damage? Anyway, sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
there are items, and there is
Right, but I want to do
the
it just for
Infernal Shrine.
trivia. Okay.
the Infernal Shrine is up. You can choose to go to the map objective or continue answering questions.
No, let me keep answering questions.
Pick your category.
Same category.
Okay. Yo ho ha.
That's it? You were singing the Mario Brothers music for days.
Oh ha 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 oh ha 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 ha. No, you ain't no.
I don't know
No.
what this is either.
I'm done.
No, do it again.
Ho ho ha 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 ho ha 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 ha.
For some reason, it felt really familiar on the second go round, but no, I got nothing on that.
Okay, it goes over to Scott.
Okay. I have to
For the
guess that
steal.
one.
Make him sing it again.
Yeah, do one more time.
Ho ho ha 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 ho ha 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 ho ha 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 e ha hoo ha hoo ha hoo 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 ha hoo hoo ha ha hoo hee ha hee ha hoo hoo hee hoo 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 hoo
Oh,
hoo 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 ay. All right, you've got all you're gonna get.
All right.
Yeah, you got a whole lot extra.
Something
Started
ring
sounding
something ring a
familiar.
bell there. Dang it. Something ring a bell.
All right, I'm putting the clock on. It's 10,
Hoo ha, hoo ha ha.
9, 8,
Halo.
7. Incorrect. So you both do 2 damage to your own course.
Cool. It's
28
like
for
I
John,
won.
26 for Scott, and the answer was World of Warcraft.
What?
What?
All right, moving on. John, you
Hold
retain
on,
map-
sing the song again.
Nope, John, you can listen back later. John, you retain map control.
All right, let's finish this category.
Okay.
Good lord. No way that was that.
Okay, hang on. It's coming up.
Okay.
Wait a second, it's happening.
Sounds like my wedding night. Just kidding.
All right. La 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 la.
Oh, I do know this. What is it?
La 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 la. All right, you guys. Yeah, we can't take 2 minutes singing the entire song. You got the piece.
Is it Elder Scrolls?
Judges, Elder Scrolls. Nope. You do 3 damage to your own core.
Well,
Doesn't Scott get a chance to pick?
He does.
Do you know what, Scott?
I mean, I'll just say, I think the version you're doing is Skyrim because the way you're doing it. Is it Skyrim? No?
You do 3 damage to your own core.
Shit!
What was it? It was so familiar.
It's Elder Scrolls, but it's which one?
It's Heroes of the Storm.
Oh shit!
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. That one I do hear. I still think there's some bunk going on with that World of Warcraft.
Man, I really put my diaphragm into that one too. For shame.
That's not where you're supposed to put your diaphragm.
All
That
right.
was an awful
So
category.
John retains map control. There are 2 more topics remaining. That is Duel of the Release Dates and a modicum of mods.
All right, let's do the mod one. That seems fun.
All right. So name the game the mod comes from. Remember to use what is or who is or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. The name of this mod is Lore Friendly Silver Swords. This mod enhances the optical appearance of silver swords.
What is Skyrim?
Incorrect.
Crap.
Scott from Steel.
Silver swords?
Oh, wait. No, it wouldn't be that, would it?
So, Joe.
This is a mod for a game. Lore friendly silver swords.
I'm playing it now. It's The Witcher. Witcher 3.
Complete answers, please.
The Witcher 3 with Wild Hunt.
No.
No,
Mm,
he
The
didn't
Witcher
listen to the
3?
rules.
The Witcher 3.
Just take that damage off the core.
No, hang on. Well, he's getting a freebie, but
Wild Hunt.
What? What
Please
is the
put your
Witcher
answer
3?
in the form of a
Oh,
question?
wow. Sorry. What is The Witcher 3? Shit. I forgot.
All right.
What is?
Next
Sorry.
time I will do is
All
John
right, right. We get one mulligan
All right.
on that.
So you get a loot box, dude. Congratulations.
Is Geralt's swords not lore friendly?
No, he has
So
silver
this-
swords, and then he has the other ones. The silver ones kill the creatures, and then
This mod though graphically enhances the silver sword to be more in line with lore.
yeah, and they sparkle.
Whether you think
Nah,
it's
man.
stupid or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
They
do
have
think
symbols
it's
and
stupid.
glyphs on them that are more in tune with the books.
No.
Well, it was a bad roll, Scott. Sorry.
Oh,
You got a thong.
You got a putrid bile burrito with shredded insect and fart particulate sprinkles from the Undercity Taco Bell.
what?
You immediately give up map control.
Are
Back
you
to
kidding
Oh,
me?
sweet. This is all me.
Why does John hate
Uh,
Nexeprity and I like it? This doesn't make any sense. All right, go ahead. I don't get it.
So you hate it too now, is all you're
I think
saying.
that's
That
what
was a
I'm
fancy
saying.
way of saying I think I hate it
I got
too.
hosed on that deal. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, give me that same mod category again.
Okay, a modicum of mods. All right, modified Fat Man.
Modified.
The description is: add a new weapon. The SRG MIRV module can deploy 6 synths at the same time from a long distance. Period. And laser module can fire devastating lasers that melt organic creatures and humans immediately, but non-organic robots.
What is Fallout 4?
You got it.
Shit.
Yeah!
Gosh,
One
there it
core
dang
is.
it.
damage to Scott's core, putting him at 22. John, you're at 25, and you retain map control.
All right, keep going with that category because I'm clearly great at it.
All right. This mod is called Loved Labels. Adds a customizable mouse hover label tooltip to make it easier to see if you have petted a pet or farm animal yet.
Petted a pet. What is Stardew Valley?
Oh, you got that one. That's 2 damage to Scott.
Shit.
Nice.
Ah!
Wow. All right.
All right, give me the last one in that.
I don't know why I did
category.
that. The last one in that category, the mod is called Shut Up Bears. And here is the description. Let me read all of it. I think that bear's roar is so stupid. I don't like the annoying that sounds. They must die more silently. Don't you? But don't worry. My mod help you. Bears can't roar anymore.
What is Black Desert Online?
Incorrect.
Oh.
3
Ah,
damage
crap.
to your core. Kapoo, 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 kapoo.
All
All
right.
right, Scott, you got a guess on Shut Up Bears?
All right. I'm trying to think what game has really annoying bears in it. One of these days, Skyrim's the right answer. What has annoying bears in it? What just sits around making annoying
I don't
bear
know.
sounds?
Maybe guess Skyrim. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just.
Bears
I'll
are in
guess
Skyrim,
I'll
they're
guess
annoying.
Skyrim. I don't know. Skyrim.
You
Oh, what is Skyrim?
okay, correctly worded.
Yeah.
First of all, and I'm just checking the judge. It's Skyrim.
Yeah.
You got
ding,
it.
ding, ding. Oh my
Go
gosh.
figure. 3 damage to John's core. Nicely done. All right,
Nice
since
of
we're
you.
at the halfway part of the game and you are not engaging with the map objective, the developers have decided just to give you guys free loot boxes as thank you for playing Next Jeopardy.
All right.
As thank you
All right.
for clearly not caring about the map.
So,
objective.
John, I just rolled for you.
Uh-huh.
You have 16, so you get a core band-aid. You can place it on your core to heal it by 1 HP.
I don't want to do that.
Well, you've got it. I'm going to write it down.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't.
Gonna
I,
Core
that
Band-Aid.
seems like only a way to prolong this. I would rather not have it.
You know we're getting through all the questions.
What'd I get?
Does Scott auto win? Because I'm.
If you
okay
gave me
if it
another
happens.
shit burrito or something.
No, I rolled a 93,
Okay.
and that gives you I think you've gotten this one before. Illidan's Blindfold.
No, I don't remember if you did.
So you may now play blindfolded. If you do, you get a chance to answer any questions first, even if it isn't your turn.
Oh,
But you have to put a blindfold on,
okay.
literally.
I don't have any.
He doesn't have one.
Are you able to lower that hat in
Yeah, I
front
can
of
do
your
that.
face?
I can't see.
All right. Does it smell bad?
No.
Okay.
Smells
Perfect.
fruity.
So,
I'm wearing it now because I'm
John?
going to totally do this.
Scott has map control.
Scott, you have map control, but there's only one lane remaining. That's duel of the release dates. So you ready?
Yeah, why am I doing this yet if I have map control?
Because that's the rules. You're gonna lose the blindfold if you
Oh,
put
all
it
right.
up.
Okay, put it down.
Suffering is part of the deal. All right. So the question, the question you need to answer with is the month of the release date. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Mercamp announced the day before Bo's birthday. This demon slaying Frag Fest's original launch date of November 22nd, 2019, was swiftly glory killed in the nuts.
Wait, is
what-
he guessing the date or the game?
the game?
The date.
Oh.
But he'd have to know the game from the hint.
Do I know
Oh,
the
so
exact?
This is going to be an awful category.
Yeah. Do I
for
know
me. I'm
any? Do I have
terrible
to
at
know the
these.
exact day then?
Well, there are hints in the clue. I'll read it for you again, so
Okay.
you pay more closer attention.
All right, go ahead.
Instead of pretending.
He doesn't know your birthday, man.
Announced the day before Bo's birthday, this demon slaying frag fest.
No, I know what the
original
game
launch
is.
date.
No, we get it.
I
It's
got that,
Doom.
but
We
it's
don't know
Doom.
what the date is because dates are hard.
Dates are hard.
I just need the month.
That's easy then. Okay, so what is Doom Eternal in April of 2020?
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Incorrect, sir. John, you get a chance at it.
Oh shit!
Now it's next Jeopardy. we got an out loud. Oh shit!
Wait, don't I get to? Oh no, it's just the blind.
No,
Wait.
you get to go first always.
All right.
I don't know it, but what is March?
I know what it is now. Can I just say it, even though I do not
Correct.
get a point?
Oh, it's March.
Yeah, it's March.
Sweet, I get a
Yeah.
loot box. Give me some loot.
All right. Oh, an 84. That is a great roll, John.
Thanks.
And you get a Gul'dan's dirty loincloth.
There it is. Knew that was gonna come back at some point.
All right, you can throw this at your opponent to stun them out of their turn and gain map control.
All right. Well, we won't
Okay,
worry about that. He doesn't have map control. All right. Give me the next category in this
Okay.
lane.
Important to know, because he has Illidan's blindfold, a legendary item, he gets to actually answer before you.
Okay.
That's fine.
So Scott, you're up basically,
Okay.
unless you use the loincloth.
No, this is. Oh.
But all right, here we go. Here is the answer. The Chumbata making this game decided to delay their original April 16th, 2020 release date to make the game Mega Korosho and maximize eddies.
Maximize eddies.
Okay, I'll read it again.
I want to hit him with the diaper.
No, I got it. I know it.
Yeah.
Nope, too late. I hit him with the diaper.
It's single use with the diaper, so Gul'dan's diaper is used. John, you get the answer.
What is September?
You are correct.
Yeah, but what
Thank you.
game? Just
Doesn't
sit
game,
matter.
John?
I just had to guess the map.
No, yes, in the game.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, and there's nothing writing on it, so you can say it. So yeah, Cyberpunk 2077.
Damn it!
I use slang from the RPG.
I should have
All
known
right.
it.
That's 1 damage to Scott's score, putting him at 19, and John is at 19.
Oh, we're tied
Okay.
up. All right, there's a chance. All right.
Next one. Here we go. In March, so Scott, you're gonna have to answer this first. 'Cause
Okay.
you're Illidan.
Yeah, Miller.
In March, this company made the super agonizing and difficult decision to spend another month polishing their Buster Swords.
I know this one.
They're Buster Swords.
You better get
Mhm.
it, Scott, because I'm gonna get it.
Read it one more time.
In March, this company made the super agonizing and difficult decision
Why? This is
to
a weird
spend
answer.
another month polishing their Buster Swords.
You have a 1 in 12 chance of getting it, Scott. You can just pick a month.
And this was this March? No, that hasn't happened yet. Last March.
Also, this month's pretty much over, so you really have a 1 in 11 chance
Oh,
of getting
there's a
it.
problem with my question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm thrown.
Sorry. Okay, throw it to the judges here. We're gonna get the corrected for you. Okay, just 1 second.
All right.
All right. So chat amongst yourselves.
Hi,
Hi,
John.
You know, I did the math, and we're not going to do 19 damage in the next 2 questions, which means there's going to be some more bullshit that's going to happen.
There's the team fight round. All right. So I'm gonna reread the question with the correct month.
All right, thank you.
Okay. In January, this company made the super agonizing and difficult decision to spend another month polishing their Buster Swords.
Like I said, you got a 1 in 11 chance if you just pick a random month, Scott.
What is? Well, wait. Another month. What is February 2020?
Incorrect.
Well,
What is March?
So they pushed back in January. They announced the pushback,
yeah.
wait.
and they pushed back from
What is
the original date
April?
to the date you
What
have
is
to guess.
April. That's my guess.
What
Let me
is-
lock it in. What is
What?
April?
Okay, so we're saying Scott's wrong because he said February.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Are
Yeah.
you?
April.
I'm saying what's April?
All right, first I got to calculate damage to Scott. Scott, you take 2 damage. All right, you said April, and that answer is correct.
Yeah. Give my
So
damage.
2
What
damage
game
to
is it?
Scott's core.
What's Buster
And
Swords?
what's the game?
Final Fantasy
Oh,
VII
I don't know
Remake.
anything about Final Fantasy. Gosh dang it.
Well, you got to know things to play trivia
No, I
games.
know.
I know it's
What can I
coming
tell
out
you?
in April. That's what I know.
All
All right, last one. John, you have map control, but you have Illidan's blindfold, Scott.
Yeah,
so
it's
you get to
really
answer
helped me
first.
so far. Go ahead.
You sound like John. I thought you liked
Yeah.
this game. All right. So here we go. This PlayStation exclusive was set to release in 2019, but Stark Enterprises needed a bit more time to perfect rendering nanotech in VR.
Oh, what is the Avengers and the month of... Oh, hold on. September.
Incorrect.
Shit! I was sure it was September.
I actually don't remember what this got pushed back to, so I'm gonna just say what is December?
Incorrect. You also have the incorrect game. It's Iron Man VR, and it was delayed until May 2020 from 2019.
Oh, lame.
Oh, it's the hardest question in the lane. You got to come correct. All right. That
Dumbest question in the lane.
that concludes the main round, the laning phase. Now we're up to the team fight round.
Do I still
Remember,
wear this?
you can
or
still choose to go to the objective, then participate in the team fight.
Do I still wear this?
You don't need to wear it anymore.
Okay.
No. You can take it off. Now, the way this works is I'm going to ask for you to name something. You're each going to lock in an answer. Each correct answer does the damage to the core. Can't use same answers.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And I may have to look these up because I don't have them written down.
Okay.
Name one game with a solo female protagonist as the only playable character.
We're just doing this rapid fire style?
Yeah, tell me your
Oh,
answers.
okay. Start it again. Do it again.
I said Metroid. Don't take my answer.
Name one game with a solo female protagonist that's the only playable character.
What is again? What is Rise of the Tomb
No,
Raider?
you can just shout out answers now.
What is Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
What is Horizon Zero Dawn?
Horizon Zero Dawn. Okay, those are both correct, I'm assuming. So one damage.
Hey, did you give me credit for Metroid?
No, because her
No,
name's
because you
Samus.
changed your answer. Okay, next round, you guys can repeat.
Okay.
Oh, either way. Okay, I see. So it's a different question each time.
Yeah.
It's the same question. Keep
Oh.
going.
Oh, wait.
We keep going until you
Then
guys
why
can
didn't I get a
answer.
point for Metroid?
Because you gave two answers for the same round.
Oh.
Super Metroid.
This is round 2. I need one answer from each of you. This is
Okay.
not hard.
Super Metroid.
So Super Metroid's yours.
I point out that Metroid is no longer taken or answered yet.
You're gonna let us get that granular with it? Oh my god.
So it can be sequels, and you're saying that the original Metroid wasn't taken yet?
No.
Okay, Metroid.
Yeah, John gave it up. All right, you do one damage to each other's score. All right, so that puts Scott at 13 and John at 17. And if you keep going this way, Scott, John's gonna win.
I know. Well, wait. Okay.
Can we go to the next round?
Nope. Yeah, you can answer again.
Metroid Prime.
Shit.
Suck it.
I don't remember the Metroid sequel names. I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft.
That's a separate game, so okay.
That's
One
okay.
damage to one another score. 12
Okay, next round.
and 16. Yeah, next round.
Tomb Raider 1.
Metroid Prime 2.
Is that a game? Metroid
Yeah,
Prime? I can't even.
absolutely.
This is harder for me than
It's
I
a
thought.
trilogy, Bo. Get ready.
Honor system. Okay. I have no idea. I just make the stuff. Who knows?
That one's definitely
So
true.
that's one damage each. 11 and 15. Scott, you're losing a slow battle again.
So I'm supposed to just go fast, rapid fire? Okay, Tomb Raider 2.
Metroid
Okay.
Prime 3.
Tomb Raider 3. Why am I waiting for John? Tomb Raider.
All right, this one's too easy, and the game show master is escalating the difficulty. You guys both do one damage for your most recent answers, but we're escalating it to do damage and answer, and we're changing the subject. And this next subject is Death Knight abilities.
Oh,
World of
no.
Warcraft.
I don't remember any of my
Death Grip.
We got Death Grip. Okay.
Death and Decay.
Shitty dirt.
No,
Shitty.
you can't-
Shitty.
Blood Boil.
Shitty
John,
dirt.
if you say
Corruption.
If you say them all now, you're giving answers to Scott.
Oh, okay.
You can
Corruption.
only submit one.
Corruption's my first one.
Only you would
Corruption?
take a lightning round and find a way to make it slow.
I'm a human. I only process information at a certain pace. Okay, so 2 damage to one another's core. That's 8 and 12. Okay. Next.
Little zombie monkey.
Not an ability. Blood boil.
All right, yeah, you don't get any points, Scott. Blood boils, John, you get
I don't
2 damage
remember
and
this.
Scott's core.
I
Putting
don't
him to
remember
6.
this. I don't play DKs very much.
I thought they'd be hard for both of you. I didn't think either of you
Well,
played
John
DKs.
remembers all this
Next
kind of
round.
stuff. Next round.
Yep, next round. Unless Scott, you want to say mulligan, I can escalate the difficulty.
Corpse explosion.
Hot poker.
No, that's a quest.
Okay, hot poker is not a good answer. And what was it? Corpse explosion? Is that one?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it is.
It's called corpse exploder. It looks
Oh,
like here.
alright.
Oh, that's no damage for
Okay.
either of you.
Um,
And since you both got it wrong, now we have to escalate to higher. 3 damage an answer, and the subject changes. I just need to get my reference document up for this one.
This is Google.
No, this is it.
This is a well planned out trivia game that is quick, fun for everybody.
Okay. This is the lightning round of lightningest rounds. Name a button on the N64 controller.
Z
And
button.
I only want one answer.
What is the Z button?
Okay, John.
The A button.
All right, you do 3 damage to each other's core. Again, John
B
is one
button.
answer away. Oh, okay. What are you answering?
What?
next?
What did he say? I didn't hear it. What did he say?
Buttons on an N64 controller.
I know
So
what
the B button.
you said. B. X.
Yeah. Is there X on an
Yeah.
N64?
No, there's no X button.
Yes, there is.
There isn't an X button.
Is
on
there?
the N64.
Wait a minute.
Okay, let's take it to
Oh.
the judges.
I
Let's
mean,
see
either
here.
way, he's eliminated, right? This is over, but this is
Yeah,
really
either way,
just
he's
a-
eliminated, so you can look at that up on his own
All right,
time.
I'm looking it up
And
now.
congratulations, John. You've won
It's
this round of
A,
Nexus.
B, C up, C down, C left, C right, L, R, Z, and then the 2 sticks.
It's those
There's
stupid
no...
C buttons. I forgot they did that. Those were stupid.
Congratulations, John. You won.
Damn it.
And that is Nexus.
How much did he win by? How much did he win by? How many points?
Yeah, 0.
I think Bo knocked his router off the wall or something. Oh, you both got glitchy. Hold on a minute. Here, let me fix that.
Whoa.
Hold on, that
That
was
was a
weird.
journey.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Are we back?
Whoa.
Oh, where's Bo?
Even the internet got sick of that shit.
Where's John? Or where's Bo? We lost Bo. Bo? Okay, there he
Hello?
is. You're there.
The internet
you were
said, no, thank you.
I thought you were mad at me and kicked me off.
No, I was trying to fix. There was a glitch at the end for some reason. And John's theory is the internet didn't even like it, but I liked it. I enjoyed it myself. All right, even though I
It was fun.
lost,
It was a good
there
time.
it is. That's next Jeopardy, everybody. That'll be our next Jeopardy music then. This music to be gay by or whatever. We found this one night while looking at weird stuff. All right,
perfect.
well done. There's your
Music to
thing.
be gay by.
Yeah, or something like that, wasn't it? Music to be gay by.
I think it was music to have gay conversations too. It was not.
I mean, it's literally in our chat. We just have to scroll up a little bit.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I'm not doing that. Are you
I
kidding?
mean, yeah, be careful. Don't show it to people. There was nudity on some of these albums, but
Yeah, some of them were a little rough, but yeah, I still can't find it. Oh, look at this outfit you bought, Bo. She's kind of,
Nice,
man,
right?
I'm looking back through some of these. The afternoon teabaggers is absolutely still one of the best things
Yep.
I've ever seen.
Carnival
Oh,
Jack's king size dick.
King size dick.
Yeah,
The giant sounds of Little David.
yep. Swiss Yodel. Mamuju Kovokic. That guy was pretty great. Falling in Love is Wonderful by Jimmy Scott. Remember that with his knocked out freaking girl on the floor?
Nobody knows what we're talking
Andy
about.
Carroll.
It's
I know they
old
really don't.
album covers of albums that didn't sell. I'm sure.
And I can't find Swamp Dog. Remember him? I can't find the one though. It's in here.
Yeah.
I
Also,
made my
some of
way
these
fairly high up. I might get to it.
Boned up the
Keep
crack.
it gay. Conversational music.
There
That's
it is.
the one.
Keep it gay.
Keep it
Thank
gay.
you. Thank you for
Conversational
the,
music.
thank you for the dove.
Yeah. I like Nexeparity. I think we should.
Yeah,
do
it
more
would
of
not too bad. I think the team fight round could use some tightening up. It was pretty wide open. It was a gaping maw of answers that I couldn't keep track of.
Well, it's hard, right? They're lightning.
I gotta balance the game around the fact
Sure.
that you can answer Metroid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, you can make a rule and say no sequels allowed if it's a series. You can
Yeah,
say
that's a good call.
Samus, straight up Metroid, and that's as good as it gets.
Just maybe name the character, not the game.
Well, we'll
Oh,
do.
there you go. Look at that. That's a good workaround right there.
It's not bad, but we'll do more of this in the future. That I can promise. I'm pretty sure. Hey, don't forget, we do all this silliness for you guys at home because you guys support us at patreon.com/core show. Patreon.com/core show. Go support us there if you haven't already. Those that have, you already know that we love you, and you're getting bonus content. You're getting stuff in the mail. You're getting all kinds of reasons why to help us out over at patreon.com/core show. So please do it. Frogpants.com/core for everything else you're looking for the site. You can leave us voicemails at 801-471-0462. You can leave us voicemails at the site, or emails at the site. You can find us on Twitter, CorePod, John_Jagger, Scott Johnson, and Bo Schwartz. That's going to do it for tonight. For tonight. I can't talk now. Next everybody
guys.
jacked me up. I need more music to be gay by. Anyway, GG's, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. There you go.
Beautiful. Well done, everyone.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a train wreck. Everything I dreamed and more.
I enjoyed every
great.
second of that. That was
It
really
was
fun.
fun.
It was fun.
I had a good time.
Right. And I look forward to that again every week at this time. Nexeparity.
I'll try and put in an effort to do a few more of those, but inspiration's gotta strike. You know?
I have to say though,